Yo, you know that one picture of Muhammad Ali? He's going like this.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, he's like this.
Yeah, that one.
That picture, if you notice, all the people in the back, their faces are all confused. None of them are cheering. None of them are looking like excited.
Yeah.
They're all just super confused and like, what the fuck happened? Now check this out.
What?
Muhammad Ali, when he hit him with that punch,
Yeah.
and the other guy fell to the floor,
Yeah.
he was telling him, get up, sucker, keep fighting me. Cause I know he's like, I know that didn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys, their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
Everybody was so confused because he hit him with a punch that was kind of soft.
Okay.
But he still fell to the floor. Now everybody thought, oh, is it fixed? Is it fixed, right?
Yeah.
The opponent's wife said that the reason he fell to the floor and the reason he gave up right there
Okay.
was because he really had to take a shit.
No way. He was on his Paul Pierce
This
stuff?
guy had to take a shit so bad,
No
bro.
way.
He just fell to the floor. You know how Jay-Z had that album 444, right?
Yeah.
Why is he obsessed with the number 4?
I don't know. I don't know what that represents.
It's crazy. Beyonce, born on what day? The
Which
4th.
one? Oh shit.
Jay-Z, born on what day? The 4th. Diddy, born on what day?
No.
The 4th. 444, because they're all together, bro. That's their thing.
Yo.
This is what's crazy, right? Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Now check this out.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys, their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
All 3 of them, they died on the 25th day of the month.
Okay.
Aaliyah died on August 25th.
Okay.
Left Eye died April 25th. Michael Jackson died June 25th. All 3 of these celebrities, people are saying they were lined up and taken out by string pullers, which are who? Jay-Z,
The
Beyonce,
Illuminati.
and Diddy. It's really weird too that they each one of the celebrities on the same day as well.
Yeah.
If you could watch all 3 of these Netflix documentaries and not worry about the world we're living in, something's wrong with you. First, we have The Devil We Know. Basically, it's about 3M and those Teflon pans poisoning the entire earth. I mean, like, everyone has this chemical in their body now, and it causes cancer and all these other crazy things. It's insane. They basically poisoned an entire town. Next up, my personal favorite, Seaspiracy. Basically, it talks about how those little plastic paper straws do no difference at all in the ocean, and these nets that they use in the ocean, when they get a hole in them that can be as big as 7 jumbo jets, I didn't know that, they just drop them in the ocean. They literally make up 48% of the trash in the ocean, and they're specifically designed to kill the fish. And last but not least, this is what the hell. Basically, the pharmaceutical company and the meatpacking company are in the bed together, and they give kickbacks to the government. It's crazy.
Did this rocket just prove that space is fake? Can we have lift off? Okay, it's going. I paid very close attention to when this rocket breaks out of the bubble. How I forgot. Here we go. Watch this. About to do something really weird. Pay attention. What is that? If anyone can explain what this is, please let me know. Thanks for watching and stay weird.
This is an opera building, okay? Who would have their opera in this stone building? This building, it says, itself cost $7.5 million in 1861. 1861. 1861. $7.5 million. It also has $10 million worth of furniture. That's what it says on the back of here. And they say, this is the best. It was founded, right here, founded on the back. Founded, right? They found it, is what they did, in 1671. So you're telling me in 1671, someone built a $7.5 million building out of stone with $10 million worth of furniture. In 1671, they had this building. And then in 1875, they turned it into a theater. So 200 years later, they're like, yeah, it'll be a $7.5 million theater. And it talks about the staircases. It talks about, how everything was made out of colored marble and Corinthian columns. There was a green room for ballet, and it was for the opera. The Paris city has been reset many times, over and over and over again. And same with the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is an atmospheric energy antenna. There used to be an orb. This is the 1901 St. Louis World Fair. Sorry, 1904 St. Louis World Fair. And I'll just kind of zoom in right there. Look at that. Look at that. That is a giant clock. When they say that these things are temporary, that building right there, that is all pure stone. And this is a giant clock that runs on natural gas. And look at those people right there. They're just right there in front of the photo. So this is just remarkable, some of the old world that has been hidden from us. Now they say it's all temporary because they temporarily destroyed all of it. But the St. Louis World Fair and stereoscopes are really cool for people to look into. And I'm going to kind of go through a whole bunch of different photos because I got a bunch of stuff to show you from the World's Fairs to kind of just go through. Here's another one. This is the electricity building. This is very fascinating. Tartaria right there. Tartaria World Fair. That's what it should be called. Look at that. Look at the detail. I mean, it is just remarkable what used to exist in America. This is all throughout America. These buildings used to be all throughout America, but they were completely destroyed. And every World's Fair came with destruction afterwards. They destroyed all the beauty. These were all granite and marble right there. And this is from the stereoscope, so people could check this. This is really cool. So let me see if you can see that. Let me get that in there right there. Look at that. See those obelisks right there? So this is the St. Louis World Fair, 1904. They tell you this is all temporary, but look at the detail of that. Look at the garden. The garden is absolutely massive. Look at the runway that the people are walking on. And this looks like a Capitol building. They destroyed that. They destroyed this. But this is all 1904 St. Louis. I mean, just remarkable. You can see that. And if you get a stereoscope, it's really cool because you can actually move the picture front to back until it is perfect. And you can see all of the angels that are on tops of these buildings. All of the buildings of the old world had angels on tops.
Have you ever thought about why structures in Europe, Asia, and even America share the same distinctive features? Not forgetting that they also seem to be constructed with methods far too advanced for their supposed time periods. It raises the question, is our historical timeline accurate, or has it been completely fabricated to hide something? Or were they all built by the same architect? This is where it gets crazy. There was a colossal empire named Tartaria that was a highly advanced civilization with technology and knowledge far beyond even our current time. They have even been credited with the construction of the Great Wall of China. But it gets even more unsettling. What if the dates on these buildings are wrong? Imagine if that number 1 wasn't a 1 at all. Our history could be off by 1,000 years. The current timeline is a lie. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, they held events called World's Fairs to use as cover-ups to demolish our advanced past. Many recount that these structures were wiped out days after the events. This was evidence of a global civilization. A civilization whose roots could be traced all the way back to ancient Egypt.
Don't believe anything they tell you. Do you really think the Mayans, who lived in huts made out of straw and mud, actually constructed giant and complex pyramids and buildings like these? They supposedly used rocks and wooden tools to build all this. Does that make sense to you? But here's the crazy part. Ancient Mayan texts tell stories of visitors from the stars saying, "The sky gods gave us their wisdom." The Mayans accomplished amazing things over 1,000 years ago. So who were these sky gods? This is where it gets scary. Recently translated Mayan tablets say the Mayans weren't alone in their achievements. They were guided by extraterrestrial beings called the Sky People. These beings, who had advanced knowledge of astronomy, math, and engineering, supposedly taught the Mayans how to build their incredible cities and pyramids. However, once the Sky People left, their teachings were hidden, and the true story of the Mayans' rise was concealed to protect this extraordinary knowledge. This explains why the Mayans had such advanced knowledge of the stars and why their architecture still amazes us today. Were the Mayans really visited by advanced beings from beyond our world?
This has been hidden by mainstream media. There is more about ancient Egypt than meets the eye, and it revolves around the sunken city off the coast of Egypt called Heracleion. But here are the fascinating details. Early European travelers account that during their first visits to Egypt, they would often be told stories of this major port city called Heracleion, where the gods would guide people to the spiritual realm. According to one druid, It is mentioned in countless records at the Vatican. Here is where things get scary. In the year 2000, underwater archaeologists made a groundbreaking discovery. They discovered Heracleion. Using advanced diving techniques and sonar mapping, they uncovered massive ruins, as well as pyramids of the same nature as the Giza Plateau. They also found statues of gods and intricate stone carvings of new hieroglyphs. But that's not all. The divers said that when they approached the pyramids, their equipment began to fail. Their radios went static, and they were struggling to stay awake. The team speculates that the pyramids emit powerful electromagnetic and spiritual waves. Is this another instance of ancient advanced technology becoming unstable due to the disappearance of these civilizations?
Hammer, chisel, and some candles. And that is a cathedral right there. Look at the detail. This is pure stone right here. Imagine crafting that, and look how tall that is. That's as tall as the cathedral. So imagine trying to build all this. It's just funny when they say that this is the 10th century. Then we move to Paris. Little Paris right here, okay? Moving over to Paris. Look at this. And right up on top, angels once again. And that's what I'm trying to show you. All of these buildings had the angels up on top. And this is Paris right here. Now there's all migrants who've pretty much taken over this area, but this is the arch. That is a magnetic arch, so people can kind of see that. And look at that detail. It's just remarkable to think that people were building like this, or angels were building like this, rather than people. You know, I don't even think it's people anymore. We're starting to get into something interesting. And then we move over to Paris again. Here's another one. It's just stunning. Look at that. I mean, look at the detail of that building. Imagine trying to build that and make it so perfect. You got angels up on top again. Angels at the top. Angels with wings. It would be very easy to build this if you had wings, right? If we were angels, it would be very easy to build this. You know, it's just remarkable when you look at the detail of that.
Why did evil people like this exist? During the 1920s, there was a man named Philip D. Cupp who owned a hot air balloon business based in Miami, Florida. For years, his business was highly successful, taking customers over the ocean to sightsee. But by 1925, disappearances in the area had increased almost 500%, and the authorities were baffled. During the investigation, a local boater reported seeing something strange, a man falling from a hot air balloon. By the time the boater reached him, it was too late. The balloon was already heading back to shore. Authorities questioned Philip, but he claimed he hadn't given any rides that day. He suggested it must have been one of the other balloon companies, but there was a problem. Philip was the only person in the area who even owned a hot air balloon, so investigators came up with a plan. They booked a solo ride for an undercover officer named Joffrey, hoping to catch him in the act. At first, everything seemed normal. The balloon rose high above the ocean. The view was beautiful. Then Philip broke the silence. He leaned in and said, "What goes up must go down." A violent struggle broke out mid-air. From the ground, the authorities watched as the balloon shook violently, swaying back and forth until it suddenly plummeted into the sea below. Neither man survived. And later, investigators uncovered the horrifying truth. Philip D. Cupp had been responsible for over 400 disappearances in the Miami area.
Have you seen these hieroglyphics of these ancient civilizations all over the world holding a pine cone in a handbag?
No.
These symbols have these depictions of the Anunnaki. Do we know what the Anunnaki are?
No.
The Anunnaki were godlike people that came to Earth and gave us all this knowledge. They believe that the pine cone is representing the transfer of knowledge of the creation of life and of human enlightenment. And then the handbag represents the knowledge of tools needed to create these things.
Got it.
There's a carving in this temple wall of the Anunnaki and stuff, doing the pine cone, and then right in front of them are like two looking men that are giant, holding like scepters, like they're making their offspring kings, and they're all standing before what is carved to be like the tree of life.
Yeah.
And then above it is an Anunnaki in this like vehicle that has like wings on it. But what I thought was weird was at the Vatican, they have this giant statue of a pine cone.
Really?
And then on the Pope's staff at the base of it, it's a pine cone.
This pyramid at Chichen Itza, the bottom of the stairway, in fact the bottom of all its stairways, on each side there's the head of an enormous serpent. But the balustrade up the side of the stairway is just completely plain. But on the spring equinox, towards sunset, between about 5 o'clock in the evening and 5:45 in the evening, this magical effect occurs. And the shadows of the corner of the pyramid are cast on the balustrade of that stairway, and they create the shadow form of a serpent, of an undulating serpent, which joins with that serpent head. And that only happens on the equinox, and not at any other time. So they pinpointed it precisely. They oriented their pyramid precisely so that one part could cast a shadow on another on that special day.
An ancient Greek mechanism that they found.
Oh, the Antikythera.
That thing is 2,000-year-old computer.
And also, that's not the first one. Like, someone didn't just develop that and was like, here we go.
Right.
It was clearly like a long history of very, very technical stuff.
More technical than like this modern automatic watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen the 3D AI representation of what it looked like? Because you're bringing this back to the time of Christ, and someone made a computer during the time of Christ. Like, just imagine someone 2,000 years ago figured that out, and they have these little representations of the stars and the planets. How do they know how many planets are in our solar system? What did you base this on?
Say hello to our potential new planet, mate. Now, this bad boy orbits the sun every 4,000 years and has a mass of around 3 to 4 times Earth's. Okay, so 3.66x in some models, placing it between Neptune and Earth. So somewhere in the middle there, that's how big this thing is, which is pretty damn big. Now, they named this bad boy Ammonite, okay, and it's not actually currently classed as a planet. Right now, Nature Astronomy, the object is not a planet, but a sednoid. So a sednoid is a TNO, a trans-Neptunian object. So basically, this has an orbital period greater than Neptune's orbit, so it goes further out into the distance, right? Which is pretty damn impressive. Now, this is sparking a major debate of people saying, is this Planet X? Is this Nibiru? Because if you're looking into the Nibiru type of thing, it has an orbital period of 3,600 years. And people are saying, could this be it? Right? 3.6 times greater than Earth's size, you know? Pretty damn big. You know, it is classed as a sednoid, but it's pretty damn big. It's a lot bigger than Pluto. What do you guys think, mate? Bad boy inbound.
Estamos viendo unos ovnis, eh? Yeah, there's some orbits right here. Mira. That's weird. And there's 3 of them. That's weird. Look, there's 3 of them. 1, 2.
It makes no sense. Huh?
What is that?
What the fuck?
And there's 3 of them. What the fuck? Espérate. Nacho, mira, saluda.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Me ahogo, puñeta.
Está ahogándose aquí con una uva.
Es que me estoy espetando las uvas. Estoy cubriendo todas las bases. Todas las bases estoy cubriendo.
What the fuck? Nah, hell no, bro.
Shine in the sky, but yeah, I mean, but now it's blinking in the sky.
Oh my God, they making a formation.
Cuz, what the fuck is this, cuz?
We seen them drop out of a fucking mothership that just flew away, and these things.
Motherfucking things off, and now they're forming shapes.
Oh, my
cuz,
God,
what the
we
fuck is
fucking watched it drop out of the fucking
We
ship.
watched this
Oh
shit
my
come
God.
out of the motherfucking
Oh
mothership.
my God, what the fuck is
And now
this?
this shit is cuz. I can't make this up, cuz. Y'all share this shit right now. Share this
my
motherfucking shit, cuz. I can't make this shit up, cuz. Now, I'm currently downtown Denver. I'm in Colorado, cuz.
Where
Look at
they
this
say
shit.
the airport.
Nigga, y'all
Listen,
see
do
this
your research.
movement? What the fuck is this, cuz? And now they're forming shapes.
Oh my
cuz.
God,
What the
we
fuck is
fucking watched it drop out of the fucking
We
ship.
watched this
Oh
shit
my
come
God.
out of the motherfucking
Oh
mothership.
my God, what the fuck is
And now
this?
this shit is cuz. I can't make this up.